Welcome. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps spread the word and helps make more of these videos possible. If you like this video even more, you can make a recurring donation via Patreon or a one-time donation via Ko-fi. The links are all in the description below. Enjoy the video.
Hello, this is Kerrigan, and I have another video for you today. Today I'll be doing a video for Inktober. This will probably be, either my only video or I'll probably only do one more video on Inktober. Anyway. So what I have here is this video is I have a playlist for all my fan funded videos, and this is definitely a fan funded video. I got this from a fan a while ago, and I've been saving it for Inktober, so I'm so glad that we're finally here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a review of this. I'm going to do some test swatches. I also got this from a fan. I really love these, but I wanted to get a set just for inks because I know that they'll stain the tips, and that's just going to bother me. So I figured I would get one just for the inks. So I have here my little swatch card sections, and then maybe I'll do a sketch. So what these are the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay inks. So these are the India inks and not the watercolor inks. The India inks and the watercolor inks are different in that when the India inks dry, they are permanent, and the watercolor inks, they're staining, but they're still like watercolor. So and then these are obviously India ink and not watercolor. So anyway, so these come in various different sets. So this was purchased for me by a fan and friend, Forrest. And so what these are India inks, and they come in these sets of 12. There's, I believe, 3 different sets, and each set has different colors. They come in this packaging, which at first I was like, well, that's a lot of wasted space, because you know how I am. But it's actually not. It's actually pretty ingenious. So you can put them upright like this, and they will stay, right? So in addition to being able to be put upright like this, then there's these little dropper holes that you can use to put in ink, as well as being able to use this area. So if you don't have a palette, you can still use them. I think one more does not fit in there, but it would have been nice if one more fit in there. And they have these little droppers. They come in 2 sizes. This is the 1 ounce size, but there's also a 1/2 ounce size, and I have the watercolors in the 1/2 ounce size. They do have to be shaken up a little bit when you first get them, so I'm probably going to do the shaking off camera and then drop a couple of drops in here so that I can use them and swatch them like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to film myself doing the dropper and I'm probably not going to film the shaking, but I'm definitely going to film the dropping. All right, so I will be right back. All right, so what I did here for this part is pretty straightforward. Is I just dropped the paints into this plastic bucket, because I figured at some point I'm going to need to reuse that. So that was pretty straightforward. So for this part, I decided to use my brush pen to do the swatching. Just because it was a lot easier, and then I wanted to also see how the colors get the variance is the main thing that I wanted to see, was the color variance. But then after I finished doing all the swatches for the colors, I went back in with a regular brush, even though later on I said I didn't want to use a regular brush. I ended up using a regular brush, and then I go back in with a regular brush so I can see what the color looks like without any water added. So this is the magenta at this point. So the other thing is, if you guys are new here, as I have low vision, so I do the swatchings because I can't really do a full picture, whatever. So and I hate repeating that, but it is what it is. So anyway, some of these colors were really interesting. The green, later on you'll see me mix up a green that I actually like a little bit better than the green that is included. This is a really vibrant green, but I did find that most of the colors mixed really well with other colors. So if you just want to
have just this 12 set and make paintings or whatever, or if you want to just have something that's super vibrant, you can totally do that with these sets. You don't really need to get all the colors in the set. I want to get all the colors in the set, but you don't need to get all the colors in the set. You can totally make works of art with just these colors. The other thing that I want to say here is that I was able to use the water brushes that as long as it's wet, it's movable, but once it dries, it's pretty much fixed and there's no moving it. Once it's dry, it's pretty permanent. So so that's the thing to keep in mind, and why I liked using the water brush for these especially is that this let me sort of watch the color sort of change a little bit, and then I'll probably, as I use this, in fact when I did my sketch with these, I did in fact use the water brush a lot. The black and the white is interesting because for the black I just swatched out the black, and then for the white I swatched out the black and then I went over it with the white, just to see how opaque the white is, because that's the other thing I want to see is how opaque the white is. And because they don't move once you lay them down, unlike regular watercolors, these are great for layering and doing all sorts of things like that. So for this part, I just wanted to see how far a little bit of the black India ink that's left on the brush will go, and it actually goes out pretty far. So as I said earlier, I just for the white, I just did over the black. Now for this part, this is me taking a regular brush and going through the undiluted colors, and you can see how vibrant they are undiluted. Just every color is way more vibrant than it is with the water brush and just a little bit of dilution. So that's one thing. If you want to get like pure strong pigments, then you can totally just get a couple of droppers and use these colors without any dilution in the water. The dark colors, especially the black and the purple, the violet, those two colors are really strong, and they have a very strong tinting strength. So if you want to use those colors without adding any water, those are the two colors that I would recommend to use. The white, as you can see here, is not as opaque as I would like, but it's okay. All right, so the white is not completely dry, but it is definitely more transparent than I would like. I was hoping that it would be like completely transparent, but it's not. I would say it's semi-transparent. Anyway, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to see just a little bit of how the colors mix. So I got a little bit of right here, I got a little bit of mixed green. So let me pour out some mixed green. This is green that I mixed myself, and it is a little watered down. I may get some special brushes for this, just because I don't, on the one hand, I don't want to damage the regular brushes that I have, but at the same time I kind of don't want to get extra brushes if I don't actually need them. So there's that. And then this is the green that they have here. Sorry about that, the angle. Once again, I have low vision, so that's why I do all this nonsense. Anyway, you can see that the green that you can mix with just equal parts blue and yellow, it's really sort of a interesting green, and the green that you get just from the green that's there is a more vibrant sort of color. The mixed green definitely has a more subdued color to it. I'm going to take another break and just come back and see how the white dries here, and then I'll probably try to do a sketch. I don't know if I'll do it on camera or off camera. And the paper that I'm using for this is the B pre-cut 140 pound 100% cotton paper. So this is 100% cotton paper. So all right, I'll be back. All right, so I just want to give you guys a couple of conclusions. This is a quick sketch that I made. This is my spinning wheel for how I spin my yarn, and I just wanted to show you. I mixed up, you can see from the color swatches that I did do a fair amount of color mixing here. I couldn't quite get a regular gray that I would get with the watercolors using the brown and blue. It's not quite the right brown, it's not quite the right blue. So what I ended up doing to get this sort of Payne's gray type color is mixing in the blue and the black, and that really did it. So that was pretty awesome. There's a fair amount of layering here, which of course you guys know is to be expected with these inks. I had a lot of fun doing this. This was super quick, but also like really fun. You just trying my hand at it and experimenting with different kinds of mixes. I had to do the brown mix. I think I had to do that mix twice because I wasn't happy with it the first time. It didn't quite look like the wood on my spinning wheel, so I did it again. So there's that. But then I also want to show you this. So these are the colors in my set, but the main thing that I want to show you in this here, I had trouble remembering what green it was, so I ended up doing the wrong green, but I want to show you the difference between the diluted version and the undiluted version for all the colors except maybe the yellow that remains strong and remains relatively consistent. Or at least for me it did, but the undiluted other colors, the bright red, which is, I feel like it's more of an orangey color, just really pops as a bright orange. And there also isn't that much color shift. There's a little bit of color shift. The biggest color shift actually is probably in the white, which looks more transparent when it's wet than when it dries. Once it's dry, it definitely looks a little bit more opaque than it did when it was even just a little wet. And as I said earlier, the purple, especially, you can see here that purple is really strong color, undiluted. You can see it here on the brush. The black, the same with the black. It's a very strong black, undiluted. But overall, I really like these India inks. I was surprised at how easy they were to mix. So I think that you definitely don't need to get all 3 sets. I found that they mixed really well. The other interesting thing that I did here playing around with these swatches, this is the green that I mixed versus one of the regular greens, and I like the green that I mixed better, as I said earlier. But the other thing that I want to show you is that you can make some of these colors more opaque by mixing them with white. So what I did here is this blue is I just mixed it with white, and I definitely was able to make it more opaque by doing that. So if you want to increase opacity in the other colors, for whatever reason, you can just mix in a little bit of the white, and that will work. I did not find that to be the case with the yellow though. So overall colors are very transparent except for the white, which is, I would say semi-opaque, leaning more towards opaque than transparent. And you can add the white to other colors to make them more opaque if that's what you would like to do. And I would say probably, I'm not sure how transparent I would say the black is, but that's kind of, it's a hard color to say because it's such a dark black. But overall, I definitely recommend these inks. These are really fun inks, just fun inks to play with. You can make really vibrant paintings if that's what you want to do really quickly, or you can, dilute them with water to make them have a little bit more natural, almost watercolor look to them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions about these inks down in the description below, or if you want to see me try anything with these, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much to the fans for funding this video, and I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to stay for a video of the cats. It's me describing Stewie. All right, thanks, bye. What you see here is a North American whining Stewie. Hey baby Stewie. North American whining Stewie is a domestic house cat who pretty much just sits around, eats, and complains. You can throw a toy, but he's not gonna chase it. Aw, he is cute though.